Hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome to another episode of the Better Merch, Better Marketing podcast. This is a fun experience where you get to see a father and daughter mock each other and have some fun while doing it. Also, we hope we elevate your merch and your marketing. I'm one of the hosts, Kirby Hasseman. Joining me today is our branding bestie, Jade Kreider. Jade, how are you?
The daughter is great. The daughter's feeling sassy. She's been kicking it back all day, and she's living her best life. So how's the dad?
The dad is feeling good, actually. Just got back from an event. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And honestly, it was good. And sometimes the day after a travel day, you feel gross and tired, and I feel fantastic, actually. Like strong. I was like, I was telling the gang, I'm like, I feel great. So
it's all that creatine.
Well, maybe I've been trying to do things a little smarter. So we'll see. So if you are new around here, this is Better Merch, Better Marketing. It is the official podcast of Hasseman Marketing. And if you'd like to learn more about us, head to hassemanmarketing.com. We've got tools on there for you if you're an entrepreneur, you're in marketing, or you're in HR. We've got stuff for you there. So, all right, Jade, thanks for being here. Thanks for always doing this. Always appreciate it. Actually had a fun conversation in the hospital this morning. Is the people who know don't nothing wrong. I eat breakfast there every day. If you don't know that. And one of the folks who works at the hospital is a longtime friend of mine. And she came up and she was like, I was watching your podcast the other day. And she said, I just love listening to Jade. She's just so funny. So,
Thanks, I try. I'm hilarious.
So, as I just mentioned, I just got back from an industry event, and it's one that I have been to many years, and I thought that it might be valuable. Obviously, this is a specifically industry event, but hopefully, I think there's some lessons there that can resonate with regardless of what industry you're in. So I thought I'd run through a couple and just kind of get your feedback on it. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'm excited to learn about it because we've talked a little bit about it, but we really haven't talked that much about it. So I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, so just a quick background for those who don't know. commonsku is an order entry platform and CRM and really just community in the branded merch space. We have been on their platform since 2014, which has been quite a while. And the people who run it, there's a whole team of people who run it now, but the husband and wife who founded it are Mark and Catherine Graham. And I find them to be two of the smartest and kindest people in the industry. They're very special. But they do these different industry events. There's SKUCon, which you've been to. It's a day before the PPI Expo. And then they started doing these SKU camps. And SKU camps are really more for, I think, designed for the entrepreneur, more for the owner of the event to do sort of big picture planning. And you get in a room with a lot of really smart people, and it's kind of intimidating, if I'm being honest. But it's really good. So here are a few things that are sort of my takeaways that I kind of made notes of on the plane back.
Well, and to say it too, we've said it before, but if there's a company that knows how to host an event well, it is commonsku. The merch, the way that they think every single thing through, the way that they lead up to the event, everything that they do, they know how to throw an event. So that's why I think this is relevant to anybody, because we take notes from them a lot of times. So
yeah, we really do. Everything they do is first class.
Yes. And, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, and I love that you brought that up, because I've actually talked to Mark about that, and he always says he kind of looks and at the event through the attendees' eyes, because he's been to a bunch of them, which everybody says they do, but I actually think that commonsku does. Right?
They do a good job of it.
Yeah, and they also are very much about connection, and so they do a good job at that. But so a couple things, and you and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but just being willing to invest in yourself. Attending events like this when you're out of the office, it's hard because you're out of the office, and the office still needs to run, and clients still need to be, and it costs money and all that stuff. But when you get the opportunity to invest in yourself, I almost always am excited that I did it, right? Like almost always I feel good that I did it. So I think lesson number one is just to be willing to invest in yourself. This is the one I think sticks with me most. And every time I go to one of these events, there's not one way to do it. I am fascinated by it, because if you think about all the personal development people, and I listen and read a lot of them, but it's like this person says you got to focus on one business and and this person says you just got to buy a bunch of businesses and there's not one way. Neither of them are wrong. Sometimes it's what works for you. And when you go to an event like this, you see a bunch of people. You've got extroverts, you've got introverts, you got people who are e-commerce, you got people who are ad agencies, you got there's not one way. And I think, and that's true in sales too, right? Like there's not one way, as long as you are doing the work and you're doing it in a way that's authentic to you. I think that's powerful.
Well, and I think you do have to kind of test it, and you have to figure out what works for you. Because the same way I'm doing the FSM training with JQ, she does things a lot differently than we have typically done. It's one of the things she keeps saying, she's going to push me to do something I don't want to do. And not even that I don't want to do, but push me to do something that I haven't done in the past, and she's going to change it up. And it's interesting because a lot of the things that she does, I'm like, oh, duh, yes, like I got to try that. And then there are things that I'm like, okay, you do that, but I'm going to do it a little different. Like we'll switch it up just a little bit and I'll make it my own kind of thing. And so I think that is an interesting perspective of there's not one right thing. It's that you do what works for you and you put in the work.
Yeah. And I also think there's that, but there's also the willingness to say, but my way is not the one way either.
Fair. Right? That's a good point.
Right. Like, and because I'll say that sometimes I'm guilty of that. No, that would never work in my market. That would never work for my customers. That would, it might though.
It might. You don't know till you try it.
Yeah. So that event forces me to really get inside my own head. So that's a good one. There's not one way, I think.
Love that.
Get in a room where others want you to succeed. That's what I wrote down. So the first part of this is you want to get in a room where other people are where you want to be. Right. I heard somebody say it's like you want to be in a room where your best day ever is their Tuesday. Like it's just their normal day. And it's like, that's the day I aspire to. You want to be in that room. But you want to be in that room with a group of people who want you to win. And if you put those two together, that's when you're like, okay, you can really, that's where that investing in yourself
takes. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And commonsku, for our industry specific, they are a good group that does that. They're people that are truly cheering you on. That's a really good one, because I've joined a couple groups and it's true to almost anybody. You can find people that are in the same industry as you or in the same office as you or in the same place as you that also will challenge you to do better and cheer you on along the way. CCX is one of the groups that I do as well that also is like they're constantly commenting on your social media and boosting you up and sending your posts and like telling you to come to this and telling you not to go to this event and telling you you should go to this event. And like, that's a really good one because it's all people that like-minded, but yet elevate you to be more. That's a good one. I like that.
You know when you found the group. So I think like CCX is that definitely. And from what I know of that group, that makes sense. And commonsku is sort of that group for me. It forces me to want to be better. And it's funny because, and to share a little inside baseball about our industry, is a lot of people in our industry, there's a level of paranoia. It's like everybody's afraid you're going to steal clients. And buddy Bill Petrie, who gets mentioned on this podcast a lot, but he said something years ago. He said that our industry was built on mild paranoia and mild alcoholism. And I like all these industry events. And I think there's so much truth to both of those. But the idea that paranoid, it just doesn't exist in that room. And so these are people who want to challenge you and want you to win. And so that's good. And then, this goes back to the one earlier where it's like, be willing to get better at your own business. I think that so many times we get in the way of ourselves because we're like, well, this is how we've done it. Especially when you've been in the business as long as I have. It's easier for me to follow. I tried that. Well, yeah, sure. I tried it 15 years ago. The market's a smidge different now, right? Like, and the technology's better and hopefully I'm better. Like, I think if you're going to one of those events and you're going to invest in yourself and you're going to be in a room with people who are going to challenge you, you have to be open-minded enough to be like, okay, I'm going to challenge my own way of thinking. And so those were sort of 4 takeaways for me about this event that I think apply to most events. Does that make sense?
I was going to say, these are almost lessons you can take going into any event that you go to, no matter what it is, because you want to go into it with an open mind and you want to be prepared to take in. And like, it goes for so many events, because I think about one of the ones I'm going to in October. And there was one day that I sat down at a table full of people who were all really excited to be there. And like, you had the conversation. It was so engaging and so insightful. And I sat at a different table the next day and I felt like I wanted to leave the event. And it, for what it's worth, I switched tables because I was just like, screw that noise. I'm not doing that again. But like, it's funny because I got with a group of people that were trying to grow, and they were there because they wanted to be, and they were there because they were really excited to be. And then I got with a group of people who were kind of there because they had to be, and they just came to like say that they came, kind of thing, like in one of those. And so it was funny because it's true of like, find those people when you go to an event like that, find the people that are lifting you up and helping you make the most of that event and that situation and stuff. So I think these are great tips for going to an event and things to take away and stuff.
So yeah, anyway, I put a ball on it is just invest in yourself, be willing to invest in your future. And then a big shout out to the folks at commonsku who, again, we're this podcast is mostly for, our own clientele, but they do such a nice job that it's like, it's hard not to be impressed, and then and help us model our events and our behavior. So yeah,
it's really cool. Next.
Yeah. So the next topic,
let's do it.
Yeah, go for it. You lead us in.
We're both ready to do it. Okay. I typically do, but you came up with half of these topics, so you get credit. Actually, by half, I mean all of them, because I didn't have any more brain power left. Next, we're going to kind of talk about fourth quarter. Obviously, year-end gifting is going to be a big part of that, but just kind of the trends and stuff that we're seeing that we think is going to be on the uprise or already seems to be on the uprise, and just the things that we've noticed that we really kind of are loving right now. So do you want to start it?
Yeah. So I have 3 kind of bullet points to discuss.
I can come up with some.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Really, this is something that I've mentioned on the podcast before, but it seems like, for what it's worth, again, I think often you see a lot of the best our industry has to offer in the fourth quarter. And the reason you see that is traditionally 50% of our industry sales happen in the fourth quarter. That's not how our business is, but when you look across the industry, that's traditionally what happens. So the suppliers, it's like they put their very best foot forward for the fourth quarter. And so we've been talking about this a lot, but one of the big trends is one piece minimum on items, one piece minimum on kits. One of our suppliers, Rupt, came out with a whole list of one piece minimum kits that I thought were cool.
They're sick. So, I'm excited to look at them in person and stuff.
Yeah. And so, and I say that like, so if you want to just do a new onboarding gift for an executive, you want to do individual gifts for every person on your team, you could you do a whole kit and be thoughtful and curated around the items that your team or your best customers would be interested in. That's a trend I'm seeing that is, I love it, right? Because all of a sudden, if it's a one piece minimum, every piece can be personalized. And so, just the kitting, I guess, and the one pieces are sort of what I had written there.
So it's funny, we actually decided on this topic because I was weirdly thinking about this last night as I was getting ready for bed. I think it's interesting. I'm finding more as I watch on social media and I talk to people that are like, because I have a lot of friends that are obviously not in our industry. And so I'll talk to them. Like, I'm like, give me your input. Like, if work gives you a gift, what are you happy about and what are you not happy? Like, I'd love that insight of like, what are you actually excited about? The thing that I've noticed, and again, maybe this is the younger generation, maybe it's just my friends, no one's excited about a coat. And it's a popular one. So I think that that's very interesting. I've actually asked people, I'm like, do you like the coat? Like, are you excited if you get the really nice, like, Carhartt jacket or whatever? They're like, it's fine. But they're always meh about it. The one person that I talked to literally said the words, I think if I get a coat as an employee appreciation, cool. But if I'm getting a coat as a year-end present to thank me for still being with the company, I feel like you didn't put any thought into it. And I don't feel like it's very personal. And I thought that was something that just kind of clicked with my brain of like, just throwing your logo on a coat or throwing your logo on a mug, it's fine. And I think people are still appreciative. It's better than nothing. It's not that. But spending 5 extra minutes of doing the research of, is it a cutting board? Is it a blanket? Is it something they can use with their family? Is it one of these kits that is perfectly curated and put together and has your branding? Just putting a little extra, like, I've noticed that people just aren't interested in the bland stuff right now. They want more thought. They want more, and it kind of, I'm going to go into my next one. So sorry, I'm skipping you, but the minimalist trend is also kind of in that of like one of the kits that we're talking about. They just came out with this new mug and it's a really unique looking mug and it's just a small little area for imprint, but the mug itself is gorgeous. Like, and ironically, I just said no mug, but it comes in a kit with a blanket, so it's fine. But the idea that it's less of just like, here's your double-walled silver stainless steel tumbler. Instead, it's here's this ceramic mug that has this really cool texture and imprint and has a very discreet, and it comes in a box. I'm noticing that people always appreciate thought, but especially around year-end gifting, rather than just doing a jacket, putting some extra touch to it.
The extra touch I think is important. I'll push back a little because again, I think it's one of those where when you like get rid of an entire category, I think if you, again, you got to know your team, you got to know your
fair. That's true. I'm speaking for an entire, like, that's not fair, but I just mean, it's one of the things
but
I've
I'm
seen.
just thinking that, because if you, for whatever reason, I like specific apparel items, like this particular quarter zip. I like this a lot, right? If you personally got me a Carhartt jacket, I wouldn't be that excited. It's just not my style. If you get me one of these, I'd be fired up, right?
Fair.
I think it's like, it's about knowing your team. And, sometimes you can involve them in the process, which I think there's value in that because of like, many times we have to, as leaders make those decisions in a bit of a vacuum, but when you can at least have somebody else on your team kind of give some feedback, that helps as well. But I like that. My second one is improved packaging.
Stole mine.
Okay, so that's your third and my second one. I think that it's just like anything else. If I just throw something at you, or as my wife is always much better, it's like, but if you put it in a gift bag with crinkle paper and it's a gift now. It's not like, so what's cool, point, the trend I'm seeing, which leads me to this, is that I'm seeing more packaging in our industry that you can then do packaging of the gifts, right? And so all of a sudden it immediately, even if it's that tumbler, but if it's a tumbler that comes in a cool piece of packaging, it's a gift.
Yes, I agree. So, I immediately agree.
Okay. So I think that's a trend I'm seeing, but it's a trend that I get excited about. Literally, when I start thinking about, that's a way I've evolved, is when I start thinking about an item and then I can think about the way that it's packaged, then I get excited about it as a gift, if that makes sense.
Well, and almost to stack onto that, the kits are something that I would I didn't write down kitting, but having more than one item, even if that item is the box that it comes in, if it's not just a cup, like, because handing me a mug, cool. But if you hand me a mug that has cute little tissue paper and a hand sanitizer in it, that's a bad example. But suddenly you put the thought in to put the little crinkle paper in there and you put the thought in to throw a little bow on top. And now I'm like, oh, it's cute. Whereas if you just hand me the one thing, it's a little less. But like, especially because we were talking about the fact that in our industry, a lot of kits have become available where then it's pre-kitted. It comes in that box for you. You get to hand it to that employee. It's suddenly a no-brainer of like, why would you not get it where it comes in this retail packaging box and it just makes it an extra step up. So I think that's a good point.
And since I stole your last one, let me go one more time. And just to say that I again, this is something that has continued to evolve in our industry and I'm excited about it, is that you can really find cool items that have a give back component.
Oh, that's not right.
Yeah, give back component so that you can get the tumbler, you can get the jacket, whatever it is. If that's something you're interested, just ask, because I don't know that you and I always think that we don't always know when that's something that a client is interested in, but understanding that, I think the one we always use is like Patriot or some of those that literally they have a base camp is the one that always kind of pops into my head. They give to the Wounded Warrior Project and they do it on every mug. So you have the ability to have an impact to a nonprofit by just simply doing the thing you were going to already do. And I think when you get a lot of organizations are doing that, and that's a trend I'm seeing that I like.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
All right. Third topic is you are going to be taking a road trip here to Ohio. Very excited to have you back in Coshocton County for a little bit. And so I thought maybe I'd kind of give you the floor a little bit here and just say, why? Why are you coming back? And what are maybe some must-haves you need for the road trip?
I like it. So if you don't know why I'm coming back, our customer appreciation show is coming up. I like to come into town for that. And I typically try and come in at least a week ahead of time. We typically have a staff meeting while I'm there, which is always good. When I do come to the office, we get the whole team together, especially right before the show. So we can all go, hey, so what are we wearing? What time is this event again? No, I'm just kidding. But it is good to get with everybody. I told Mom, sometimes every now and again, I want to come to the office just to like see our team even again. Yes, to see my clients, and I don't want to minimize that, but just like sometimes seeing our team and having that one-on-one time can be good because we all get tired and a little burnout sometimes, and it's a good way to just reconnect, and I'm excited for that. So I'm very excited to come to Ohio. I'm very excited for our trip, and then I'm gonna go to Colorado, go to a wedding, and then we're gonna go on a family vacation. So I've got a busy couple months coming up. It's gonna be tough to be me.
Yeah, I do agree, though, for what it's worth. I mean, we have Jeff works out of the office. He's got a home office. Kelly has a home office. And obviously you work from wherever the hell you're living at the moment. And that all works, right? It works. But yeah. I do think getting everybody together, getting the band back together, as I like to say, every once in a while, be in the same room, to laugh, to joke. I mean, I think this we have a group that we like each other and we have fun together. And so I do think there's real value in that. And so,
well, and I told Mom, we've all like taken turns taking vacations and covering for each other and stuff. Sometimes, especially after that, it's good to just get in person and be like, hey, thanks for your help with that. I do appreciate it. Like, hey, thanks for your help with that project that I had to pass on to you because I was too busy and I couldn't take it anymore. Like, it's just good to see face. And I think that's always fun. So the fun stuff, what are my non-negotiables? Do you mean specifically for the road trip itself or just for the trip in general?
I will allow you to use that however you want.
Okay, so my first non-negotiable that's coming to Ohio with me is my ginormous karaoke machine that I got with my logo on it. It's coming. It's going to be used at the office. It's going to be used in your living room.
We're all excited.
Everyone is so excited. And in case you're wondering, there's 2 microphones, so Quincy and I can both scream into it at the exact same time. So this is non-negotiable number 1.
That's pretty fun. I mean, you might as well say, I mean, what, like, you like, it's from our pals at Org Audio, right?
It's from our pals at HPG and Org Audio. It's the best thing ever. It's so much louder than I ever expected, and it's got a 1-piece minimum, so you need one. Yeah. Next up. Portia's enclosure. It sounds like a really dumb thing. I can't travel without that, though, because she's still too little. She'll get taken by a hawk. So I will be traveling. If you don't know, my dog and my tortoise are coming back with me. My parents did graciously give me somewhere else to sleep, not in their house. I'm going to try not to take that personally. No, I'm just kidding. But so I have the dog and the tortoise.
Take it however you want.
Ironically, you could almost stack onto that I did get a new cooler, ironically, as well, to travel Portia's lettuce. Porsche's. It's Porsche now because we found out Porsche's a boy. Anyways, Porsche's lettuce and all the snacks for the road trip. So we'll put that on there. That's all I got for you if you want the truth. So
no, it's fine. Yeah, I think that we're excited to have you back, and I really do think there's a ton of value in getting the team together. And I'm actually so excited because we're going to do some stuff a little different at the show this year. And so like our check-in process is going to be different. We need to run through that stuff. So,
talk to the team, tell them what's going on maybe before we just start doing it, all those things. Yeah. So, all right, let's talk about our product of the week.
Okay.
He's reaching for it. Woo woo! I think I broke the sound barrier.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the final day of our, we did a launch week this week, and it's been really good. And let me just start by saying thank you. The support has been really, really great. A lot of kind words and support on social media, nice messages, all those sort of things. Really, really, it is super nice. The book's called Target for Talent. I had it there on the screen. And this week, you can get it for free as a Kindle on the Kindle version. Obviously, if you want to purchase the book for you or your team, you can certainly do that anytime. But the final day that you can get it for free is today. So please, you'd actually be doing me a solid. One of the reasons we do this is so that we can kind of the more people that buy it, download it, the more it shows up in the algorithm. I think it was yesterday or the day before, it was showing up as #1 in business leadership and human resources. And so that's really cool. So would love to finish the week strong. So that's our product of the week.
Yay! I need to add it to my bookshelf. I'm coming to steal one the minute I get to Ohio. I can't wait.
Yeah, cool. So, all right. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode of Better Merch, Better Marketing. I'm excited, Jade, to have my branding bestie here in town. I'm excited about that. And certainly excited about each and every one of you listening. If you want to learn more about us, go to hassemanmarketing.com. We've got tools for the marketing side of your business, the hiring side of your business. And yeah, we'd love to help you out. So if you want to learn more about us, head to the website. You can also book a call, set up a time to chat with us as well. Jade,
see you. Bye.
It's been fun.